guys, it's Kim again, and in case you didn't see my last video, I am actually going to be doing all my reviews and costumes since it's Halloween, so yeah, but I explained this already, but if you didn't hear it before, I'm just telling you guys that, but in this video, I'm going to be reviewing to you the Tomorrow People Season 1, Episode 4, Kill or Be Killed. So this episode, for me, it wasn't as good as last week's, definitely not as good, but I did really enjoy this episode. What I like about this episode is that we're starting to get more origin stories separately, and Steven's kind of in the background. Especially this episode is very much in the background. This was pretty much John's episode. We basically found out John's origin story and why he works for Ultra, why he chose Ultra, and the whole thing going on here. So, basically, let's just get to John, because I think his storyline is probably the most interesting part of this episode. Basically, with John, what we found out was that John basically was abandoned. He was taken out of this horrible family life. He did not have a good family life, and he was taken out of it. And Jedediah actually gave him a better life than the one he had before. So that's why he became part of Ultra, because Jedediah adopted him and kind of was like the father figure in his life, the only father figure he knew. So that's why John is part of Ultra. It's because of Jedediah, really. Also, Little John used to go out and steal to keep his foster brother and sisters fed. It really came as no surprise. It made a lot of sense when you think about how he was with the people that are under his care. John has basically been caring for people ever since he was a child, we found out. Which is kind of sad when you think about it. It really is. He did not only gang a father figure. When Jedediah brought him into Ultra, he ganged another brother. Killain was someone for John to look up to. Killain was Jedediah's actual son, and he was someone for John to look up to. But luckily, the admiration didn't extend too far, at least not to the point where John had become a heartless man who killed innocents to make his point. But he did kill somebody. He did kill people, and he was a killer. Even with all the double-crossing back and forth between Jedediah, John, and Killain, basically this episode that we see that now in the present, Killain is possibly going to come back. That's the worry here. Is that Killain is going to come back, and he was once part of this unusual Ultra experiment, and Jedediah and his people fried whatever part of the brain it is that stops Tomorrow People from killing. And it's too bad for Jedediah and his dreams of superpowered soldiers that almost all the test subjects died because of this. Killing McCrane was the sole exception, then he went into Rogue. So now he's basically coming back, but a series of explosions indicate that he is on his way into town to get his revenge on Jedediah. And there's basically this bomb that was going to explode, and, you know, they were all trying to trap everyone. But in the end, John did what Jedediah wanted him to do, and, you know, Killain had been fixed so that he could overcome that hurdle, but John basically saved everyone. He was the hero here. So we see that again, John saved people. But one can definitely wonder that now we realize that the end of the episode, we kind of realize that, now, since none of them died, Killain is now out for John, basically. And he has two choices. He can either kill or be killed. And that's why this episode is called Kill or Be Killed, because it looks like John revealed that he can not only kill, but he is willing to kill someone who is like a brother to him. And it just raises a lot of questions in your mind. You know, what will it take for John to feel as though he might need to kill again, and just who could be at the end of that attack the next time it occurs? Or was this simply a very rare event that will haunt him for a long time to come? What do you guys think is going to happen here? I don't think we're going to see Killain again, but it was very cool to see that. It was a very thrilling episode, and I mean, there were 5 bombs, and he just stopped all of them. And I mean, that was amazing. That was definitely really cool, and definitely, as I said, the most interesting part of this episode by far. That was the most interesting part. The other plot was basically that Steven, because Steven saved Jedediah's life, Jedediah agrees to Miss Jameson demands that her brother-in-law come to dinner, And Angela Jameson has just figured out that Steven has been interning at Ultra and she's not pleased about it. Naturally, both Steven and Uncle John insist that the job is nothing but a coffee-fetching internship, but his mother's not convinced. Considering that it was working with Zedekiah that made her husband turn paranoid and weird in the first place, Angela may have some justification for her worries. She's very worried about her son, and she can definitely tell there's more going on here. I mean, she's not stupid. We realize that. She's not stupid. And this plot for me was okay. I would have just wanted to focus more on John. That's really what I would have wanted. I didn't really think we needed any other plots. Last week's, we really didn't have much more of a plot than Kara's and the girl. But other than that, this episode, we definitely got more than that, and I don't think that was needed. So, yeah, that was basically the two plots that was going on. So now some things to talk about. As we know, Steven's job at Ultra has nothing to do with getting coffee. Instead, focuses more on hunting down super-powered criminal types. Steven manages to beg his way onto the mission to capture Killain. It doesn't go too well. After disarming Darcy, Killain plays with Steven like a cat plays with a mouse. His life is only saved by the intervention of Darcy. Later, Zedekiah reveals that his death cannot be Killain's only objective. The car bomb was actually a diversion so that Killain could sneak into Ultra and steal John's file. But what could Killain want with John? The answer seems to lie in more deadly games. This time, Killain has rigged 6 bombs to take out a youth orchestra, with Steven helping by cutting one wire. As I said, John saves the day by being super awesome and disarming 5 bombs, one at a time. Strong gets blown to bits here, but Killain also manages to slip away. Neither Ultra nor the Tomorrow People can get the guy. So maybe they need to work together. That's John's idea. He meets with his erstwhile father figure, Zedekiah, in the noodle shop and proposes a ceasefire. Working as temporary allies, Zedekiah will use Ultra's resources to find Killain, and then John will track him down and stop the killer. Zedekiah agrees, but this is all meant as a trap. Ultra sends John to a parking structure to meet Killain, and Zedekiah immediately sends in a kill squad. After all, John's on the agency and the most wanted list, too. Unfortunately for the kill squad, these are 2 young men who are very adept at teleporting. They take their fight outdoors, where Killain taunts John about weakness. If Killain can kill and John cannot, what chance does John have? We don't know. We don't find out. We instead find out something rather secret and important. John can kill, and he does. Yes, John's a killer just like McCrane. That is, in fact, why John left Ultra and Zedekiah in the dust. He didn't want to be the killer that they made him before. Being the sociopath that he is, Zedekiah is proud by John's actions, but that means nothing to the younger man. He sees this as nothing less of a declaration about war. The Tomorrow People won't be hiding anymore. So, as I said, that's what's going on here. I just wanted to read you some background information in case there was some stuff I forgot. But this is a very intense storyline that we got going on here. I mean, now someone is out to get them. We have Killain who's out to get them. And Zedekiah is working with Ultra now. So we're going to have to see what else happens here. Let me know if you guys saw this episode. Is Killain going to come back, or was Killain just a one-episode thing? What do you guys think? That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye, and happy Halloween.